GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's Wednesday, October 20th. Welcome to the National Outlook. I trust that the week is going along smoothly. You're staying safe and secure, social distancing, wearing your mask, walking with your vaccine card. And for those not vaccinated, please get vaccinated. I am. You should too. All right. GDF rank pleads guilty to being part of multi-million-dollar gold heist. This was last Saturday's Kaieteur newspaper. As a matter of fact, all of this week's edition of the National Outlook is based on last Saturday's newspaper. Tells court he was recently demoted and was struggling to provide for his family. Look, this guy was in the army. He said he was bypassed for promotion, and then he was demoted. Something he must have done wrong in there. But now he joins with two others, three of them, all armed, according to the reports, and engaged in a multi-million-dollar gold heist. A gun, a crime. Thankfully, nobody got injured, nobody got killed, as could so easily happen in these circumstances, where a wrong move is misinterpreted as a menace by the robbers, and the worst happens. Somebody goes down, mortally wounded. That didn't happen here. We're glad. But we've got to deal with ex-GDF officer Keon King. And he's saying, look, I'm struggling to provide for my family. I don't know what standard his family was or is living at, but if he's got to resort to robbery at gunpoint, something that was carefully thought out, and to get to the stage where it was buried in his yard, found in his yard, and then he's now in the lockups and before the courts and essentially pleading for leniency, it's like, what could have gone wrong? Without putting this man down, in life, a lot of things could go wrong. But I think he erred here, and he erred terribly. He said he wanted to walk on the straight and narrow. I should know something about that. If you notice, every now and again I insert a little bit about the spiritual side. It's difficult. The straight and narrow is what it says. There's no room to move off into the edges, and it's narrow, so there's little room for error. Straight and narrow. You're walking a tightrope. The temptations are all over. Your weaknesses are known. You are vulnerable. You are subject to those same attractions and temptations. A quick dollar, whatever it may be, whatever your weakness may be. And sometimes we succumb. We all succumb. I succumb. But to go to this length of a gunpoint robbery, whilst a serving member of the National Army, something is not adding up here. And now the man is asking for mercy. I leave that to the courts. But I regret that he could have fallen from grace so quickly, and tells us that in this rich country, this is where I want to go with this here ultimately. In this rich country, even before we were rich, even though we still are not rich yet, because it doesn't translate to money in our pockets and in our hands as yet, if it ever will, we have lived within our means and with dignity. My parents were poor. I grew up poor. In some ways, I still am poor. And so are many of you, my brothers and sisters. But we don't resort to thievery and robbery and guns and threats and endangering others. And that's all those factors are what the magistrate's court is going to have to weigh and find out how to deal with this man. And it's not a good place. I wish he hadn't gone there. But it tells us, and when we talk tomorrow about crime, it tells us how close we are to the edge, a number of us. Think about these things. If a man in the army who had a career, a lifelong career, could have slipped into this kind of darkness and dangerousness, then what about me and you? Until the next time, I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining the National Outlook. Then what about me and you?